bring up the recalls, and it's, you were a part of that kind of, of that. I would say you almost were passed on the mantle of being a progressive supervisor from Chris Daly, who, I want to say he was kind of the first kind of was like, oh, I agree with these guys' politics, but I don't get why so many people hate him. Like, there's this hatred for Chris Daly, which I did not understand. And, it just seemed like there's always this hatred, for the guys actually really trying to work to, to take down the status quo and think about the little people.
Yeah.
And now it seems like they got a bunch more money behind them. The people that want to take these folks down. Now, so that being said, do you think, if these recalls were asked today, do you think you and Chris would have been recalled?
Well, in order for the recalls to be around, there has to be enough effort to do the recall. And like when I was chair of the budget committee, I was trying to cut the police budget to actually move to Health and Human Services and the fire budget. And I was looking at fat that was in the fire department. There's a lot of fat there. There was then, not so much now. And people wanted to recall me. So yeah. I had this really great photo of this rally that was recall Avalos across from City Hall. We had taken part of the budget. It was the interim part of the budget, not the real budget, but it was the budget to do work for the city. And we had cut $80 million from police and fire, and we moved $80 million over to Health and Human Services in the month of June. And they tried to jam up City Hall. And we had our people that were, labor and community groups in the hundreds, had a line sneaking through the hallway in City Hall. They had public comment first, and the police and firefighters thought they could just jump the line because they're police and firefighters. So they're banging on the oak doors of the board chambers and demanding to get in. And the people in the hall are saying, let us in, let us in. The people in the hall are saying, get in line, get in line. And we beat them back that day. But
that's kick ass.
Part of that was the recall.
That's so kick ass, though. Let me just take a minute and say how kick ass that is. All right. We can move on. That's kick ass, though.
Well, it was. I came out of community organizing and community work. Education, social work. Trying to stop the prison industrial complex. So that was my perspective going into City Hall, and I wanted to keep that perspective. And so I'm at City Hall setting up the ways that people can mobilize and pinpoint, and I become the target. That's what I am. I'm the target, but I'm also one who has access to other colleagues that can make something happen. And we were able to do that with the budget. But I'm in the board chamber when they're banging on the door, and my heart's palpitating. I'm sweating and I'm breathing hard because it's fucking crazy. The next morning I come to the next in January, we start the new year in 2010, and my legislative aide says to me, the first day I'm back, and the first minute I'm back, something about the police budget, and I grab my heart. I'm like, fuck. And I spent the night in the hospital getting assessed for, it's very traumatic work.
Yeah,
that's brutal.
Wow.
But you can't be powerful. You can't get stuff done without the outside of City Hall, without a movement to back it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm concerned about right now, is that in San Francisco, where we had these long histories of people's movements that were able to, elect the class of 2000 that was independent of Willie Brown in that year, to get elect my class of the Board of Supervisors, and to get all kinds of stuff done around affordable housing and changes in the police staffing and how that works. That took a lot of movement building and movement work. And so to deal with accountability around San Francisco, to live up to our values at this moment, means that we have to actually have a movement to help ensure that happens. And without it, it might be easy to get rolled over by the Trump administration.
Real talk.
The power of the purse strings are greater than we ever imagined, because we didn't think Elon Musk would have total control of them.
Yeah.
which he does right now.
He does.
Yeah.